आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाभदिव्यै छविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So Hare Krishna dear devotees, we are reading from chapter 17 from the book Teachings of Lord Caitanya. I will continue reading from here. To fulfill his mission, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mission of bestowing love of God, Krishna Prem, upon the conditioned souls, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devised many methods to attract those who are uninterested in love of God. Hare Krishna. Just like when a small child is showing lot of tantrums and the mother is trying to feed the child. So sometimes the mother will say, "Hey, see, there's a little bird there," and the child will look up. "Hey, see," and then they'll put the food inside. Or sometimes the child is crying and the mother will try to divert the attention. So just like how a mother tries to feed the child when the child says, "No, I don't want to eat," no, but it is important for the child to eat. So therefore, the mother makes different kinds of uh, methods, devises many methods. Sometimes they will say, "You eat this, then I will give you a chocolate, I will give you candy, ice cream khayega beta." So many things the mother does. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is our supreme mother, father, everything, to bestow love of God, Krishna Prem, upon the conditioned souls who are not interested in love of Godhead. They are interested in their foolish illusory happiness. Actually, there is no happiness. Actually, there is no shanti, there is no peace, there is no happiness. If there is no peace, how can there be any happiness? And in this material world, there is no peace. Today, for a moment you feel nice and happy. The next moment something happens and your peace is um, disturbed. Peace of mind is disturbed, and as soon as the peace of mind or the peace of body is disturbed, the happiness is gone. But these conditioned souls, all of us, we, because we were uninterested, therefore Mahaprabhu, he devised many different methods to attract conditioned souls. After he accepted the renounced order, Mahaprabhu, after he accepted the renounced order, all the agnostics, the critics, the atheists, they were people who were criticizing Mahaprabhu. They were saying all bogus things about Mahaprabhu. But when he accepted the renounced order, all these people, the agnostics, the critics, the atheists, the mental speculators, they became his students and followers because he was Nimai Pandit. People would come to debate with him and everybody got defeated. But as soon as he took the renounced order, they all became his students and followers. That no, he's a Pandit and now he's in renounced order. He became a sannyasi. Okay, let us all become his students and followers. Even many who were not Hindus and who did not follow the Vedic principles accepted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the supreme teacher. There are many instances in Chaitanya Charitamrit. One of them is one of the Maulis, the person who reads the Quran, who sings the Quran in the morning namaz. And this Mauli, he was a very, very, of course, they are the most respected in the um, Muslim community. They read the Quran and they are experts in Quran. And he was a very, very pious person because he followed the Quran very nicely. Mahaprabhu bestowed a special mercy upon this person, and they both had a discussion where Mahaprabhu explained the Quran and every word of Quran, picking up every verse of Quran and telling this person and telling him that isn't this verse mentioned in your Quran? And he said, yes. And Mahaprabhu defeated him in this discussion. Of course, he did not want to debate with Mahaprabhu. They were having a very wonderful discussion, a very sane discussion, where he was quoting verses from Quran and he was questioning where it has been mentioned that cows should not be slaughtered or animals should not be slaughtered. Where has it been mentioned that God has a form? All these things he was questioning, and Mahaprabhu, he cleared all his doubts quoting verses from the Quran. And he was fully convinced. In fact, in the end, he accepts that yes, whatever you have said is very true, but because in our community people are very scared that if these things come out, or if these things are spoken in public, if these verses are taught to the general public, then they may then the persons who are preaching, they may lose their importance or something of that sort. That he revealed that people have concocted messages, and from there I will show you the verses. If anybody has a doubt, I will show these verses where Mahaprabhu and this Muslim preacher, they had this beautiful discussion, and he accepts that yes, these verses are very much present in Quran in the end, towards the end, but nobody explains, or nobody wants to preach these things because they are too scared that people may become very liberal. People will stop following, or people will start believing that the Vedic principles, they are the highest, because the knowledge, the information given in Quran matches with the Vedic principles, because ultimately it is from God that all these scriptures are coming, and ultimately it is the humans who are concocting these messages. So therefore there are many such instances, and I remember having heard and read from Chaitanya Charitamrit, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, about this specific incident where finally this Muslim preacher and very pious person, he accepts Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, they do not believe that God has a form. That is also just like Mayavadis. So they don't believe that God has a form. But this person, he understands that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot be an ordinary person. He sees that all the divine qualities that are mentioned in the scriptures as the qualities that are there in the Supreme Personality of Godhead are all present in Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's fully convinced, and he accepts Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He accepts Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Teacher. Who is the Supreme Teacher? Supreme Teacher is the Supreme Lord. The only persons who avoided the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were those sannyasis who were known as the Mayavadi philosophers of Benares. Their plight is described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj. Gosai Maharaj is saying, the Mayavadi philosophers of Benares were less intelligent because they wanted to measure everything by direct perception. Direct perception means, now if you see that a small child, again taking this example of small child, the parents may show the child pointing out to a tree and they say that this is a tree. So the child understands that, okay, this is a tree, this is how the tree looks. Then they point out this is a wall, so they understand, okay, this is a wall. So like that the small children are taught. But now, how will the parents explain to the child that this is air? Can you see air? You cannot see air. But does that mean that air does not exist? Air is very much existing. So these philosophers, Mayavadi philosophers of Banaras, they wanted to measure everything by direct perception. What you see is what is present. What you don't see is not present. Direct perception. We cannot see form of God, but we can see that the nature is there, plants are there, species are there. Therefore, they are all they are all God, forms of God. So that is because they are less intelligent. They do not understand that it is not just, these are not the only dimensions. There are other dimensions also which transcend these material dimensions. So, on this basis, they calculated that whatever is perceived by the material means is Maya or illusion. So whatever direct perception, you can feel air, okay, air exists. So whatever can be perceived by the material senses, through your senses, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, touch, whatever you can perceive, that is exists, and they accept or they calculate that it is all material means, all this is illusion. Whatever is perceived in this way, this is all Maya or illusion. Since Maya is full of variegatedness and the absolute truth is transcendental to Maya, they concluded that there is no variegatedness in the absolute truth. They accept Maya as the supreme. They think Maya is the all in all. Everything is Maya. So anything that is beyond Maya has no variegatedness, cannot have any variegatedness, means has no form or qualities or pastimes, because everything that you perceive with the senses, that is Maya. And if something is beyond Maya, that means it has no variegatedness as per the perception or understanding of the Mayavadi philosophers of Benares, and therefore they could not accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the supreme personality of Godhead. During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, there were also other impersonalist philosophers known as the Mayavadi philosophers of Saranath. Saranath is a place near Benares where the Buddhist philosophers used to reside. And even today, many stup of the Buddhist Mayavadis can be seen. The Mayavadi philosophers of Saranath are different from the impersonalists who believe in the impersonal manifestation of Brahman. According to the Saranath philosophers, there is no spiritual existence at all. At least the Banaras philosophers, they believe that okay, there is a bright light, Brahma Jyoti is there, there is something beyond, and that is all in all. That here, the philosophers of Saranath, they believe that this material world is all in all. There is nothing beyond it. So that means there is no Brahma Jyoti also. The fact is that both the Mayavadi philosophers of Banaras and the philosophers of Saranath are entrapped by material nature. None of them actually know the nature of the absolute transcendence. Nothing superficially accepting the Vedic principles and considering themselves transcendentalists, the philosophers of Banaras do not accept spiritual variegatedness. They think in the spiritual world there is no variegatedness. Everything is just silence, everything is just bright, light, and nothing. No colors, no sound, nothing. But actually, in the transcendental world, dancing and singing and all this is going on. So many kinds of music, so many kinds of instruments, so many kinds of instrumentalists. All the gopis, they are singing, they are dancing. So even every word is a song, every movement is a dance in the spiritual world. But due to poor fund of knowledge, the philosophers, the Mayavadi philosophers, they think that there is no such variegatedness. So they do not accept spiritual variegatedness. Because they have no information about devotional service, they are called non-devotees. No devotional service, non-devotees. Devotee means devotional service, or those who are against the devotional service of Lord Krishna. So we should understand anybody who is against the devotional service of Lord Krishna is to be understood to be a Mayavadi or a non-devotee. Mahaprabhu is making it very clear. There is no scope for any kind of doubt, and there is no benefit. no scope for benefit of doubt also. Mahaprabhu has very clearly mentioned that although superficially accepting the Vedic principles, Mayavadis superficially they are accepting Vedic principles. No, okay, no meat eating, no gambling, no this, no that, all that. But because they do not accept, they consider themselves to be transcendentalists, but they do not accept spiritual variegatedness. And because they have no information about devotional service, they are called non devotees, or those who are against the devotional service of Lord Krishna. They are all non devotees. So we will pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll again continue reading tomorrow. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
जय
श्रीमद शिला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय।
जय
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि हरि बोल।
गौर
हरि हरि
गौरी
बोल।
भक्त वृंद की जय।
तिलक